Hello, this is Dr. Creekmer of Ed Mosaic, and I have my wonderful sister scholar, Dr. Crooms, here with me. I'm very excited to have her to answer this very poignant question. So a lot of people have a lot of sensitivities about labels and things like that. Some people are deeply connected to their identifications and things like that. Meanwhile, other people could care less. So I want to talk about specifically the changes in identifying people who come to this country and are not native English speakers. So when I was growing up, it was labeled ESL. And then as my career transpired, it changed to ELL. Now, Dr. Crooms is going to elaborate on that and the importance of the identifications for this group of people. Dr. Crooms?
Thank you so much, Dr. Lovato Creekmore, for having me on, and to all of your viewers and to those who you serve, hello, and thank you for giving me this honor to speak with you. I would say that we need to contextualize these labels because we tend to be very racialized and convey a sense of power based on who the speaker is, the language speaker is, and where they come from, and what kind of assets, various systems believe that language speakers are bringing to the United States. So I just wanted to first start with that. And so when you see legislation for people who speak languages other than English, the term now in legislation is ELL, English Language Learner. And for children in education legislation, ELLs are the term that you're going to see most prevalent. Recently, we've had scholars talk more about honoring the home language that students bring, but also realizing that some language learners are not positioned as having a valuable linguistic repertoire. So we've seen scholars like Ofelia Garcia have the term called Emergent Bilingual Learner. And the reason why this was an important shift in the language learning conversation is that we no longer essentialize learning English as the epitome of someone's linguistic identity. Now, we honor the fact that students, children, adults, those who come from various countries speaking languages other than English have language other than English. They have the capability and the capacity of being both literate and vocal and smart and have an identity and a personality in their home language, as well as they have the possibilities of being bilingual in English and any other language, and then in any other form of English or their home language. Like their language is not static, it's constantly changing. Mm-hmm. And we think now about the dual language debate, and I'll say that dual language is an educational term. Sorry, my cat is photo bombing. She is also a PhD of catology. Yes. So dual language is considered the gold seal of language education because you have a model where students who have a background, experience, and expertise in their home language and their home cultures are also paired with children who have an expertise, a knowledge, a linguistic repertoire in what they might call the target language in English. And so in dual language, if done right, children exit these programs truly being bilingual, truly being biliterate, reading, writing, speaking, and able to listen and comprehend in both the home language and in Portuguese or in English. And so the issue then becomes when folks who have means to enroll their children in dual language programs, spaces that honor bilingualism and honor biliteracy then co-opt that space, and then it's become an asset. Oh, we have this premier dual language program. Whereas for young people, typically Black and Brown young people or Eastern European populations, when they are introduced into the schooling community, they are considered English language learners, and they tend to get English as a second language or English as a new language, something we call an early exit program, where you get these young people just to have enough English to participate in English only education. Or they have a transitional exit where you're still using some of the home language, but the point is you're going to speak English. And so we can see a class, like there's class and race and power intermingled in how emergent bilingual folks, or people who, not because of their lack of capacity, are positioned as either multilingual, bilingual, or an English language learner. And so I think it's really important that your viewers understand that language in and of itself is as human as breathing and blinking your eyes. We all want to communicate, to be seen, heard, understood, loved. The list goes on, right? But then when we think about who the speaker is, where they come from, and what the systems are that they are learning to engage in being multilingual and multiliterate, that's when we need to kind of have a more critical look at language, place, space, and the power structures that get to determine who gets to be bilingual and who gets to get who becomes an English language learner. And I would close by saying that no type of label is ever going to fit all people. And so as a researcher, I tend to use emergent bilingual learners because I want to honor the fact that there is a power struggle. And in my mind, people who speak multiple languages and speak in multiple variations of those languages are exceptional. But I also understand that people who make decisions about languages or places of origins that they may deem less desirable are still framing those individuals in a deficit way. And so I want to make sure when I'm writing that I'm intentional in saying why I'm using this terminology and how I feel like it begins a conversation where we're shifting away from a deficit of a person just coming and learning English to someone who brings a fullness of language and experiences.
Dr. Cyrene Crooms. Please pay attention to that name. This is Dr. Cyrene Crooms, and as you can see, the perfect guest for this topic. This is her area of research amongst some other topics. So as you heard, she knows what she's talking about. So I'm very excited that she was able to be a participant in this blogcast. And you clearly saw how this topic could be a full podcast. So once we jump to that kind of platform, I will invite Dr. Crooms back so we can have a dialogue about all this important information that we all need to be aware of. Thank you so much, Dr. Crooms, and I will be so excited to have you back.
It would be my honor and my pleasure. To my fellow scholar sister and beloved friend and scholar, thank you, Dr. Lovato Creekmore. I truly appreciate it, and thank you to your audience.
Thank you. Yeah, we're besties, you know, PhD besties. So there's a lot more here than just the doctor part. So thank you for watching. See you soon.